Oh, right. I just got through watching a video from Alexander, brother Alexander. What was his name? David Alexander, I believe. He's got a YouTube channel. It's grown very quickly. He's a convert of the church, and he had a uh, things to say about Pastor Jeff. For those who do not know who Pastor Jeff is, he's a evangelical pastor, and he created a YouTube channel called Hello Saints. He, well, let's see. What was my first impression when I first ran into Pastor Jeff? So, when I first found his channel, I was actually kind of like, who is this guy? He seems to be very nice, very genuine, very kind, and he wants to know more about the church. And not really, I mean, I think it was more he wanted to understand the doctrine and where we could, what can we agree on, and to build bridges and peace and all the other stuff that he seemed to portray. So, the first video that I saw, I forget what it was about. I think he was criticizing other Christians the way how Christians treated Mormons, and he was wow, someone's sneezing very loud. One of my kids. Anyway, he wanted to. I don't know. It just seemed that he just wanted to let other Christians know, hey, they're Christians too. There's no need to uh, cause any, how you say, I don't know, contention or say mean things about the Mormons, and that's what my first impression was. And after a while watching a couple of his videos, keep in mind, I've always had my guard up. I because I don't know this guy, and I did not want to judge too quickly because I am very very known to do that, and I'm trying to become and be better. And you guys seen my other videos when I mention about other people that I I feel that you should be aware of. And for you guys know me. You guys followed me a very long time. A bunch of you guys. I used to have another channel. I deleted it for numerous reasons. So now I don't have that many subscribers. But that's all right. It's not about that. It's more about um, I think it needs and I just needed to start fresh. Anyway, so going back to Pastor Jeff, I after a while, I was kind of like, I don't know, this guy like seemed to be sincere at first, and he had questions and he wanted to share his beliefs, and but it did kind of show that he was interested in trying to get to know more about our church. He started going to even to our church and get to know other members of the church, having meetings with them. But that's when I started kind of already waking up, when he started showing up with other channels, having these interviews. And I'm like, man, do these guys are very like are they that easily like, you know, I don't know, like to me, I was still iffy. I'm not gonna go ahead and just believe whatever they say just because they say that. You say, oh yeah, I'm trying to get to know and this and that. It just, people were very hopeful and still are hopeful that Pastor Jeff will somehow, some way know that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints is true and the Book of Mormon is the Word of God. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. There is, I remember a lot of, I used to read some of the comments just to see what people say. And after reading the comments, it made me more realize, like, man, I'm not trying to be judgmental, and I'm not trying to be like, how can I say? I'm always, I'm an, a lot of people think I'm negative. I think they think that I think too much, judgmental, and things like that, and I assume too much. And I was trying to not assume, but I couldn't help myself to feel that the members of the church that were commenting were being deceived by this guy. Because yes, he did seem to be genuine, but there was some also questionable points where he questioned in a way to make you start thinking, maybe he is right. Maybe, that is kind of odd. I should think about that. Or, just putting some seeds of doubt or second question or things like that. Long, long time ago on my old channel, I used to be a very defender of the church. I mean, big time. And I came across a old member that had his own YouTube channel, and he became a evangelical. I'm not sure which, you know, church he was going to, but he has a big channel. I'm pretty sure he still has it. And he used to walk around with a microphone and interview people, and even interview members of the church to kind of make them stumble with their answers and questions and stuff like that. And I, you know, had this. We had we went back and forth on social media, especially on YouTube, on the comment sections where, like, he'll say something, I'll say something, and I was a big defender, and I would fight for the church. Little did I found out later that it was just pointless, because contention is from the devil, and it just they already have a mindset. You can't um, you can't make them believe or rethink about, oh, maybe I'm wrong, or nothing. They are This guy was an ex-member. Okay, he he was endowed. This guy just became against the church, and he's trying to supposedly save everyone from the church of of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints. So I've had a couple of feuds like that with other people where I will try to defend like that, but it was just a wrong approach. It wasn't the right way to do it. So I never had the desire to do that with Pastor Jeff, because it was like, you know, again, I'm not trying to judge too quickly or assume anything, but my gut feeling is, I'm gonna say was is that he's being deceitful. Um, he went on a reading on the Book of Mormon journey. He's still reading it, and then, he says good things about the book. He'll say good things about the church, of the doctrine, and the similarities that we have. But then he'll like say, like, well, he'll try to correct it, or share his beliefs, what he thinks, and he just doesn't agree with this or that. But this is what's good, and so he plants seeds of doubts, and He's very good at it. He is very, very good at it. I think people are catching on because, again, David, what was his name? I mentioned him earlier. He made a video on it. He made a very good video, by the way. If you're watching this, you made a very good video. This is why I'm making it. I've been wanting to make a video about this, but I'm like, so many people they say stuff. Christian Homestead said something a while back, a couple of months ago about Pastor Jeff. Other people questioned it, but there's other people too that have YouTube channels like, no, he's a nice guy, he's genuine, and all these other guys that like to interview people. It's just like I don't know, like I'm not falling for it, dude. I really am not, and I don't know. He mentioned some stuff about general authorities. Like he'll go on this talk about, say, Elder Holland or somebody, or even President Nelson, and he'll agree on some things and some things he wouldn't. He'll just like kind of like criticize. And again, kind of like very just making you think, wow, maybe they are not prophets. I don't know, maybe this and maybe that. Like he mentioned something about the Book of Mormon about secret combinations, and that's when that one right there too. It wasn't not too long ago. He put out this video about secret combinations because he's reading the Book of Mormon, and he said that yeah, it reminded me of the temple when members of the church would make covenants with God, and they would wear these clothings, and so it kind of reminded me of the secret oaths the secret combinations would do, and it reminded me of an old video that some guy, I don't know if it was anti or ex Mormon, I don't know what, but he said that the Book of Mormon warns you of the Mormons because we are the secret combinations. And videos like that, some videos that people make that are actually very well made to and make you believe certain things that they say, well, again, plant seeds of doubt and questions, and leads to other questions, answers questions, and it sends you in a dark, dark, dark path. And eventually you're gonna leave, stop going to church, because now you don't need the church no more, because it's Jesus. That's all you need. You don't need the church. You don't need ordinances. You don't need to do any of that, because works is not going to save you, and things like that. And I don't know. I To be honest, I don't believe that Pastor Jeff is actually genuine from the get go. I think he is deceiving many members of the church. And if I'm wrong, and I hope I am, um, I am. I'll accept I'm wrong. You never know. Uh, Pastor Jeff just made a video saying that he moved down to Utah, and his family packed up and left because that's where God had sent them. And he made a video about it saying that, oh, I don't know where I'm going to live at yet, but this is where I'm supposed to be. Basically, is that what he was saying? And I'm thinking, oh, so now you're like acting as if you're like Nephi and Lehi and family are moving in this journey, and God has taken you there, which is probably, you never know, probably is happening, but he might be not knowing that. He might not be seeing that, and he's probably thinking he's making this big lie, like he's actually trying to deceive people. Anyways, I don't trust the dude. He seems like a very kind, nice guy. He's got this handsome looking, innocent face, and pastor. He's a pastor. He's not gonna do anything like that. No, there's no way. It reminds me of Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains. He made this documentary. I was actually shocked when I found that documentary. He was talking about Mormons and how we basically are evil, and the doctrine is from the devil, basically. He was straightforward and blunt. Kirk Cameron is, but Pastor Jeff is a lot more dangerous because he reminds me of what's his name. Oh, geez, he's an ex-member. He used to make YouTube channels videos, and he made CDs and to help you understand the doctrine. And I made a video about him a long time ago, and all of a sudden he he makes this last series of videos, and he doesn't gives you a heads up or nothing, but at the end of that, the last video, the last CD, all of a sudden starts saying that you should question about the church. You don't need the church, and you're like, whoa, where did this come from? Because everything that he said, I felt that it was right, true doctrine. But now he's like saying, you should ask yourself or ask God if this church is true. There's nothing wrong with that. And though he left the church, I forget his name. What was his name? Leave the name under the comments if you remember. And then he grew a beard, and then all of a sudden, like he his family was still going to church, but he didn't. And then he became very Bible. I mean, this guy knew. I don't. He knew the scriptures by memory, but obviously he did not understand it. If he understood them, he would have never left. But he would give you the impression that he did, you know. And oh geez, I hate not knowing his name. But anyways, I'm trying to remember. Uh, he became very weird. Like he didn't even. Then he started not believing in the Book of Mormon, and then it was just weird. It was just so weird. But people left because of him. There's so many out there, so many people. If they have questions, it's okay to have questions. But the thing, the horrible thing about the whole thing is, say for example, if I have questions and I feel that the church is not true anymore, to me this is a personal thing between me and God. I don't i don't think, unless the devil is doing really good work on me, or I'm like hurt. A lot of people get hurt for whatever reason and blame the church for it, and they want to destroy it. There's people like that. um they want to leave, but they don't leave it alone, you know what I mean? And I don't see myself. I don't know. I just don't. If you leave, you leave. It's like a bad relationship. If I'm gonna leave my girlfriend or my wife, or my relationship, I will just leave. I will not sit there and tell people, hey, she did this, she did that. That's why I left. I'm not giving you a reason. I don't need to. It's me. Why do you need to know? Why do I have to convince you? I don't know. Maybe because also they want to be saviors of the world and trying to warn you, and don't. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But yeah, Pastor Jeff did not convince me one bit at all. I just, the first time I did see him, I did leave a comment saying, hey, it's good to see that you are trying to see if it's true, or understand what we believe. I think that's cool. And I left it like that. But I was going to say something different, but I didn't. But I just wanted to be more positive. And I remember him heart my comment, and after that, I didn't say anything anymore. And when people make videos about him, I would just say, "Hey, question him. Then ask him. If you don't believe, ask him." Because people like to interview people, but you know they don't want to interview him for some reason. Like me, I don't like to interview no more. I'll be in an interview. Like the last video that I made with Beth, it was her idea. She wanted to talk about uh, um, spirit world and NDE. I'm not much of into that. I like NDE stories. Some are really nice to hear, but I'm very, very iffy on those. Very, very, very iffy. Some of them are kind of like, whoa, they said something there, very doctrinal that not even they would know that, things like that. But the devil can deceive as well. So I mean, I take them as a grain of salt, big time. But every good thing that you hear, it should always be taken. You can learn from it. But yeah, I don't like doing interviews no more. I don't like to interview, but if someone wants to interview me, fine, it's fine. I don't care. I just don't want to. I don't want to be responsible with interviews no more. I just don't. I don't have the time to do all that. Anyway, I don't know what you think. Give me your comments below. Um, Tell me what you think. I honestly, be blunt about it. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't want to be rude, be mean, but it's the truth. I don't trust the guy. He criticizes general authorities. He, why, for me, why is he always trying to like correct or because he thinks it's correct? If he's trying to understand, try to understand why, what it is, not try to make comment where you're criticizing, or that someone is wrong, like a general authority or something, or bring up the secret combinations and temple thing. I mean, come on, dude. Like how that is the oldest thing in the book that people always bring up about secret oaths and the Masons and all. I mean, come on. That's so old, but he did it very cleverly, very cleverly. Anyways, tell me what y'all think. Is he a good? Is he trying to be good? Is he fake? He's a wolf? Or is he genuine? Let me know.